are ya? Welcome back to my channel. I am not feeling great today. I officially have the stomach flu, which is like my biggest fear. My biggest fear in life is throwing up. All of my family's throwing up, but I have successfully, so far, knock on wood, held it down. But I have been running a fever, and I feel like that always happens when life is the busiest, no? It might also be like when you're stress-induced, your immune system goes down, but nevertheless, I have quite a few deadlines this week, and so I'm here to just hang out and have a very simple video today. I do have an elaborate video coming out next that I'm hoping to feel good enough to film later this week, and that is a room redo, at least a small room redo, so I'm looking forward to that. But until then, I have my version of Gatorade. This is just basically pineapple and mint. I wanted to talk today because I mentioned this in a different video about why I decided to join YouTube and how I decided to join YouTube, because I feel like it's a pretty different story. I did not make a YouTube channel to want to do this full time one day, nor did I realize it was something that I actually really enjoyed doing. Actually, my dream at the time, when I was, let's see, 18, 19, late 18, early 19, new to LA, my dream was to work for TASTEMADE. If you're not familiar with TASTEMADE, they are kind of like a Food Network, but for more millennial age, which is actually, it's geared towards a little bit younger than me. Oh wait, I'm Gen Z. So Gen Z, it's geared towards younger kids on average, you know, like currently in high school.
I remember my first mocha frappuccino. It tasted so good, but almost immediately I felt terrible. I wanted it again, but I wanted a version that made me feel good after I drank it. So I created this paleo version. Fats, 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 fats. Everybody. I like fats. They're important. Today we're gonna talk about fats. If you can't tell, we use raw cacao butter, which is a great fat. This is another alternative I just wanted to let you know about. It's ghee, which is clarified butter. Yes, it's lactose-free. It's safe for lactose-intolerant people. This also has literal pearl in it. Pearl. Pearl has over 30 different minerals in it. Maybe over the course of a month, you would feel like, I don't need to wear foundation today. Wow. I am just glowing. Today you are in for a treat with my triple chocolate mug cake. And the cool thing about it is it's in a single size serving mug, so portion control's not even an issue. An ingredient that we're using today is one of my absolute favorites. It's raw cacao. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially the same as cocoa powder, but it's completely unprocessed, so no heat has ever touched this, which means all of the antioxidants are still.
And I wanted to have a show on there so bad. It's funny too, I have an old Twitter and you go back through it and I'm just tweeting TASTEMADE saying like, hey, I live near you now. I live just a couple miles from your studio. It's my dream to work for you. Let me know if you ever need an intern, anything like that. And I actually ended up getting a job as a line cook at a restaurant to try to learn enough culinary skills to hopefully surpass as a cook. Definitely not a chef, but a cook to be qualified enough. And I realized it's probably important for me to have some sort of video evidence that at least I'm comfortable in front of a camera and that I have a personality and that I'm innovative enough with food. So I started a YouTube channel, and a lot of the videos I have taken down now because they're just so bad and I want to be best foot forward, but a couple of the really old ones I have left up. So if you go all the way to the bottom of my channel, there is a couple old ones. I made those in hopes that I could send them over to TASTEMADE one day and that they would be interested in me enough to bring me in, maybe for a job of some sort. Funny enough too, before Brook and I's first date, he watched one of the cooking videos that's still left on this channel and he thought I was funny, which it's so bad. So he was excited to go on a date with me. I was like awkward funny, but I did not have a filming camera at all. I had like a stationary camera, no sort of viewfinder that flipped out. And so what I would have to do is stand and record a clip and then stop the clip and then go back and play it and look and see how in focus I was and then try to adjust it a little bit and then stand, record the clip, go back, watch the clip, adjust a little bit more, and I would do that like 5 or 6 times until I felt like it was right, and I would try to just not move because it had no sort of autofocus. It was for photography, so they're bad. They're pretty bad. So I would stay on TASTEMADE's website all the time on the hiring page and see what I could be qualified enough for because I didn't care. I just wanted to work for them. I applied for internships, I applied for everything, and finally there was actually a full-time salaried position, but it was in front of a camera. I don't know if it ever actually worked out, but it was basically someone that would host I think it was kind of like a show, but it was also salary, which all of their people on shows are not salary, so I don't know how that worked. But would go around and like try different food places and things like that. I submitted my application, they called me, they gave me an interview / audition. In this audition, they had you do a couple random things, like they had the whole counter full of different random foods, and they asked you to make a sandwich. So I made a sandwich. I made a sweet sandwich, actually, like a dessert sandwich. But I told them, normally at the end you are supposed to try the food and say, this is delicious or whatever. And I told them, I said, I have celiac disease. I'm so sorry, I can't try this. And one of the producers was like, I'll come up and I'll try it. She didn't know at the time too, I was really sick, kind of like I am now. I think I had the flu. So I feel kind of bad, but I couldn't be like, no, don't eat my food. Hope she was okay. And it was terrible trying to manage that audition feeling so bad because it was what I had waited for my whole life. But long story short, they ended up calling me saying that obviously because my dietary restrictions, I could not really be in the running for that position because it requires trying and eating foods, which is such a bummer when your dreams and your, I don't want to say handicaps, but the limitations of your body hold you back from your dreams. But they said, how about we give you a couple trial episodes and we just do a couple recipe cards, which is what they called just random episodes. And so I did that, and they did really well, and then they gave me Pretty Healthy as my show, and then I did 3 seasons. But throughout all this, I said, okay, I got what I wanted. I work for TasteMade now, I have a show with them now, and I just stopped posting on YouTube. So I didn't post on YouTube for like a whole year gap. And it actually wasn't until TasteMade pitched me a new show, and they said, we want to use you for, they had launched TasteMade Home, which is like all interior design, also something that I love. And what was it gonna be called? Happy Healthy Home? Thrifty Digs was another TV show that I almost got with a different network. I have been in pre-production of 2 interior design shows starring me that have both been canceled. It's kind of painful. But they said, I guess I just kind of spoiled the ending a little bit. They said, we want you to start putting out some lifestyle content online to kind of A, get comfortable with it, but also B, build up a little bit of, like to build your resume, build up, what's the word, like a little bit of expertise, I guess, in the field, since obviously I was a college kid. They even offered to pay for interior design classes at my college for me. So I started putting out some interior design videos. And we were getting ready for the shoot. The week of the shoot, they said TasteMade Home has to go through budget cuts, and every show in pre-production can no longer be produced due to budget reasons. And I was literally a week out from production. I was just barely in pre-production. So I was a little bit bummed, to say the least, but at that point, YouTube started actually paying a little bit, not a lot, but you know, a couple $100s a month. So I said, this is interesting because yeah, I want to work obviously at a studio and with a whole production crew and a set and a producer and all of that. But isn't it interesting that I can maybe just do my own content in my own time and also be paid? So it was because of that that I continued to make videos. And I started with making just like 1 a week or 1 every other week, kind of just whenever I could. And it was actually Brook that told me, hey, why don't you just like put pedal to the metal for a bit and see what happens if you do 2 a week no matter what. And I said, okay. And I did that, and it went up, 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 and started paying significantly better. Then I introduced vlogs, and so I do 3 a week. And now I do 3 a week, plus if there's like a sponsored video or a bonus video, I'll do a 4th a week. So I've just put more and more and more time and consistency. My brain can't think of words when I'm not feeling well. And that's when it really started to grow. So it's just kind of funny thinking back and looking back at how something that was so devastating and such a heartbreak, being cut from a show, ended up being the thing that helped me find one of my other passions and one of my other career paths, and now my main source of income. It's crazy. And I hope that that is a little bit encouraging for whoever of you might be going through a season in life where you don't feel like you're getting your way, because I definitely felt like I wasn't getting my way for that few months, but it was because of that that something bigger happened. In all reality, another home show with TasteMade probably wouldn't have propelled me any further into my career, because if you look at Pretty Healthy, like yeah, it's awesome and people recognize me from it, which is cool, but it hasn't really propelled me anywhere. Whereas YouTube has brought me tons of opportunities. So I just think it's pretty cool. I hope that that is inspiring, and I like to remind myself of that story from time to time too, because it's so easy to get discouraged, especially in an artistic field. Like I said, I had the exact same thing happen again. I had a home show in pre-production called Thrifty Digs for a pretty big network, and it just flopped before I even got a chance to be on set. So things happen. It's good to know that it's not the end of the world. I love y'all so much. I'm gonna probably go take my 4th nap of the day. Thank you for hanging out with me in sickness and in health, like marriage I love you, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye.